I can remember my mother having these books, child craft books. We grew up in New Orleans, and I don't know if they had those books anywhere but in the South. But they were red books, and they were educational books. There was one book that was a long book that had art in it. And I used to remember looking through that book all the time, just looking and turning the pages and just looking and looking at the paintings and just loving to look at the art. I always liked going to art exhibits, the museums, as a child, junior high, elementary school, high school. And there was the LA County Museum. I used to visit quite often. And I liked looking at the old masters and the Renaissance art and all of that. This good feeling that it gave me from to just look at the art. As a kid, I always liked to draw and color. And my cousins would ask me when they were trying to draw people or draw this or draw that, they'd say, "Ray, could you draw this bow for me or draw this or whatever?" And it just seemed like something it was fun to do and I liked to do, and it made me feel good to do it. And I can remember my mother getting us a watercolor set, and we used to go on the service porch and she'd tear out newspaper advertisements of models modeling clothes like the Sears ads or J.C. Penney's or whatever, and give us the paint so we could color in, that. My mother used to get me crayons all the time, and I used to make these really colorful kinds of loop-de-loop kind of drawings or whatever. Just a lot of color I used to like. Now, there was a period that I went through in the 5th grade, I remember in particular, where one of the teachers there, Mr. Davis, used to always come around to me, it seemed. I guess he was one of the other students too, but he would always say, "Why don't you use more color?" Now, I don't know why I was using drab colors during that period in the 5th grade, but that's a nice drawing, but use more color, and I never would. I would just use a lot of grays, little mountains, draw mountains and this and that, but he was paying particular attention to me. But thinking back, I was saying maybe he saw something that I wasn't seeing at the time. Then I can remember maybe in the 6th grade, I was thinking of the other artists in the class and who was the best. And I put myself in one of the categories. I was one of the 3. I remember there was a guy named Michael Hota who was really good. And I can't remember the name of the other artist, but I put myself in the category of at least 3 of the best artists in the class. And then junior high school, where I didn't do particularly well in academics, I remember the last class of the day was the art class, and I remember getting an A in the art class. And I don't remember doing anything special. I just remember getting an A at the end. I said, "Oh, look." But I don't remember anything special about doing anything in that class. Then there was a moment in high school where my teacher asked for one of my paintings that I had completed, and it was a painting of my recollection of going to a summer camp and having just so much fun. I painted a painting of the band that was there, the jazz trio, and a dance that we had had. And so there was a lot of figures, dancing. It was not realistic at all. It was just brown ovals for heads and bodies moving or whatever, and then this trio playing. My teacher asked me, could he have that painting for something? Sure. Of course, I've never seen the painting. I never saw the painting again. And I didn't think you're so flattered by your teacher wanting your painting for something. And I just think about, what is that? I wonder what that painting really looked like.